Welcome to the Academy of General Dentistry podcast series featuring Dr. George Schmidt. Each episode features experts in the field of dentistry who share insights and inspiration to help you succeed. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We've got a great show for you today here as we're broadcasting live from the Chicago Midwinter meeting. And I've got a great guest, Minal Sampat. Minal, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Oh, really great to have you on the show. Really, really appreciate it. So Minal, RDH, is a marketing strategist, a speaker, a social media coach, and best-selling author of Why Your Marketing is Killing Your Business and What to Do About It. After over a decade of working with businesses, consultants, coaches, speakers, and dental practices of all sizes, she was born in India. Her family moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands when she was a child. She fell in love with the business early on while watching her parents starting a new life by opening a jewelry store in St. Thomas. After high school, she attended Rutgers University, my alma mater, and eventually went on to become a registered dental hygienist. As an RDH, her love for marketing found a powerful outlet as she created and refined new ways to connect with existing and potential clients. As a millennial, she mined the riches of social media and technology until she found strategies that worked. So that's really good stuff. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is this book. Tell me a little bit about this new book you have out.
Yeah, so it actually came out in January of 2020, Why Your Marketing is Killing Your Business and What to Do About It. And the whole reason behind that was I'm a marketing strategist. So I'm not a marketing company. I'm not the one who builds your websites or does your SEO. But I studied marketing and PR. And what I found out very quickly working in a dental practice as the marketing manager was we were just throwing away money because we don't know how to take what we already have in our marketing and maximize it. And that's nobody's fault. It's just that we are not taught these things, right? And so this is not even the marketing company's fault because they don't know your practice culture. They don't know your brand. They don't know what makes a doctor wake up every morning and say, let's go to work today, or gets the team excited. And so because of that, I quickly realized that there are just so many ways that you could literally take at least 20% out of your marketing budget and still grow your production. And when I started, I opened up my company and started doing these things, is when I started to figure out this is a way to do it. And then one day I found myself in a mastermind class. There were 10 of us, and 9 were authors, and I was a 10th one who was not. And I'm not gonna lie. I was, I'm in my early 30s, and the coach, the mastermind coach, is talking to me, and I'm like, I don't have things to say. I'm too young. Like, come on, who reads a book from a 30-year-old? This is not real life. And he's like, no, just try it. Let's see how it goes. But no, it worked out, and I launched it on Amazon, and it became a bestseller in 5 countries in Amazon within that same week. And it's been a fantastic journey with that book.
Yeah. So when you talk about being a marketing strategist, that's interesting. There are so many different groups that you can market to. How do you figure out, what to do, how to do it, and what to focus on? I guess it's different for every practice, but go through that with me.
Absolutely. So you actually break it down into 3 different segments. The first thing starts with who is your actual audience, right? So what specialty are you, and who are you trying to bring dentistry to? So are you in a specialty? Are you a GP? Who's your audience? Even if you're a GP, who is your audience? Are you specifically doing cosmetic work? Do you want to do more cosmetic? Are you a digital dentistry clinic? Are you a bread and butter clinic? And you have to understand who you want to bring to your practice, because if you know your audience, you know who to talk to. That's the first part. Mm-hmm. The second part is then once you know your audience, you can figure out the messaging that goes along with it. How do you actually communicate with them, and what is important to them? So for example, let's just say that you are trying to bring in the younger families, right? The Gen X and the millennial population who now have kids and their families. If that's the case, then you also have to have your messaging where it makes sense to them. How can you do it so that technology you have, they can make an appointment at 11 p.m. at night, because that's when a busy parent has time to do it? Or are you making sure that your team knows that, hey, when they come as a family, if one person wants to get whitening done, can we support the other person to get this done? Or how are you doing that, right? Or compared to, let's say that you're trying to see the boomers and you are looking at implants and full mouth rehabs, and that's the care you want to provide. That's amazing, but that means your marketing message has to focus on those about, hey, when was the last time you were able to have steak? Or when was the last time you were able to smile big? Or are you missing teeth? Or what is happening there, right? We are not selling dentistry, we are selling a lifestyle. the ability to eat, the ability to smile big, the ability to go to your granddaughter's wedding and not be embarrassed. So how do we create that messaging around that? So the second part is the messaging. And then the third part really comes down to marketing is your numbers. Because we all talk about marketing, but we never actually know how our marketing is working, where the patients are coming from, what the numbers are, and what the ROI is on those numbers. So I am a huge nerd at heart, and I grew up in a business family where every Friday my dad sat us down around the dining room table, and we had to look at the numbers together because we are a family business, and he would tell us, okay, this is how much was the electricity, this is how much the rent, this is how much is this is how much is this is how many sales we made. And if we don't make this amount of sales, we cannot cover that expense. That means you cannot buy those pair of shoes. And I always wanted to buy a pair of shoes. So I had to figure out very quickly, how do I get it so that I can get those pair of shoes? So I grew up in this money-minded, almost a way for us to understand money was it was a part of everyday discussion since I can remember as a child. And that's just, I guess, because my dad is a businessman. So that kind of helped me create it. And I'll give you an example just so people understand marketing strategy to differentiate it. So for example, marketing is, let's have a website, let's have a billboard, let's do a radio ad, let's do a TV ad, let's do all of these things, right? So everybody listening here, all of you probably have a website. And on that website, you probably have an About Us page. This is common marketing. You go to your website, you go to the About Us page. That's the second most frequented page on our website. And now on the About Us page, you all probably have the same thing. There's a photo of a doctor, probably in a white coat or a dress or a nice jacket or something similar. The hands are crossed, and then the head has a little tilt. There's always a little tilt to the head, and there's a big smile. And that's a picture. And right next to the picture is where the doctor grew up, the schools the doctor went to, the accolades they have, the organizations they belong to. And then there's only one sentence in the end that says something like, in her free time, Dr. A loves to go skiing. And that's pretty much 90% of the bios. And if you're listening to this, that's probably your bio. Marketing is, let's have a website, let's have an About Us page. Now, let's convert that to marketing strategy. So I am a marketing strategist. I'm also a dental hygienist. I'm actually a pediatric dental hygienist. So let's just say that you were to go to this pediatric dental practice that I happen to work at, and you go to the About Us page. Instead of that photo, there is a video. And the video goes something like this. Hi, my name is Minal Sampat, and I love to laugh. I have one of those big belly loud laughs that you just hear from the other room. But when I was looking at photos of me as a child in India, I was not smiling big or laughing loud in those photos because I was embarrassed. I had black spots on my teeth. Today, I am a pediatric dental hygienist because I don't want any child to feel like they cannot smile big or laugh loud. I look forward to meeting you and your family. And right by that video are 3 bullet points, where I went to school, the accolades I have, the organizations I belong to. Now, which one worked better, right? The video. You saw me, you heard me, you got my why, you got my story in less than 30 seconds. That's marketing strategy. How do we take what we are doing in our marketing, like a website, but we maximize it so we are talking to our audience, we are working on the messaging, and we are saying direct ROI.
You know, that's so important, and I don't think a lot of people, in fact, most people don't think of it that way, right? We think about exactly what you said. Let's put all our accolades and all the things that we think we're great about, and at the very end, we do what you said. But really what you're telling me is, and this is common in sales, right? Try to create identify your audience, try to create some kind of common ground with that audience, you know, elicit that, and then talk about the other stuff.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's really great. And it's also, I think it's fantastic, as a young child you were exposed to business. That's got to be deeply ingrained in you.
Oh, it is. I mean, I have seen many salesmen, and I will say my father is one of the greatest. And even today, you know, we have I grew up in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and if the listeners have been there, on St. Thomas there is a street called Main Street. And Main Street is literally, the entire street is jewelry business. So my dad's store has a competition on the right, on the left, in the front, and in the back. So that means that if a customer walks in that store and does not buy a piece of jewelry for him, they have 80 other choices to buy a piece of jewelry from. And I watch him work, and every time, let's just say that somebody came into the store, let's say her name was Sarah, and he sees that Sarah comes in and she's walking around browsing. The first thing, he would never tell Sarah, hey, do you want a bracelet? No. He would always ask Sarah, oh, what brings you to St. Thomas? What are you doing here? And Sarah would say something like, we are having a family reunion. Oh, that's amazing. I just had a family reunion back then, and my family is here and there, and da-da-da-da. And, oh, Sarah, that's amazing. Oh, your grandkids. I have a grandkid. My grandkid was born in July, and her stone is ruby. And what's your grandkid's stone? Oh, I have something. He always finds the common ground first.
Yeah.
And then he makes the sale.
Incredibly important. Incredibly important. That's good stuff. Let me back up a little bit. You talk about messaging. So what do you say to folks like, some people I think struggle with what the message should be. And I know you do a lot of consulting. So, how can somebody figure that out, or how do you help people with that? What should my message be?
It's a very simple thing. It's actually 3 questions you ask yourself. And anybody can ask you for it. So the first thing you always start is, where did you grow up? Literally, your messaging will need to start with where did you grow up, because that builds a connection. That's the common ground. Then you go to the story of when did you decide to be a dentist? Simple. When did you decide to be a dentist? Now, for some people, they have a family friend, or they have a parents, or they had a bad experience. There's a story as to why you decide to do this. And then the third thing is, why do you go to work every single day? And that's your messaging, because that's your why, that's your story. And you take that same exact story, and you now add on to the treatments. You now add on to this, right? Hey, yeah, you know what? I grew up in a family of dentists. I was born in Manhattan, New York. I come to work every day because this is literally in my genes. This is what I do. This is what my family does. This is our legacy. And my goal in life is to make sure that every person in this practice is happy, the patients are happy. And then you say, and because of this, I now also do this or do that. So if you have the foundation, then it's just building blocks. But the foundation usually starts with where were you born? Because it's immediate connection. When did you decide to be a dentist? Because there's a story there, which will bring people in and bring you, oh, you grew up in the Virgin Islands? Oh, okay. And now the third thing that's going to go down to it is, all right, why do you do what you do every single day? What makes it amazing?
Yeah. Wow. By the way, I've been to the Virgin Islands many times, and I'm almost positive my wife must have a piece of jewelry from your dad's store. That's for sure. So the messaging, right? So in 2025, once you identify your message, what's the best medium to get that message out?
It depends on your audience again. Because again, and I can be completely unbiased and completely honest with everybody here, because I have no marketing to sell to you. I only have strategies. I have many practices that still do phenomenal with direct mail. And I have many practices that do phenomenal with social media. And I have many practices that do phenomenal with Google Ads, right? So depending on who your audience is. If your audience is seniors, if you're looking at retirement, if you're looking at to bring those people in, they do like to read. They do want to get a mailer from you. They do want to see what you're doing. Let's say you're trying to bring in the millennials. We do not want to read a mailer. We do not look at those mailers. But yeah, I will scroll at 11 p.m. at night on my Instagram, and I will look at your profile, and I'll see if I like you. So depending, again, on who your audience is, it works. Now, basically, however, the 2 things that no matter who you are that you need is going to be reviews. You absolutely, positively need reviews. If you do not have reviews, in today's world, we all look at reviews, and that's how we make decisions. So you do want to get reviews. If there is somewhere where you have to put your marketing money, it's getting those reviews. And the second thing is you do need to still do SEO. So if you are working with a marketing company, how are you showing up on Google? What keywords are you showing up for? Because everybody does the same thing. They go to Google, hey, I want to do dental implants, blah, 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 blah. And if you're not popping up there and you're on page 4, it's not going to help you. So the 2 things you absolutely need is Google SEO and reviews.
Yeah, and I think Google SEO is something you really can't do yourself. You've got to hire a professional for that.
100%. Guys, don't try to do it by yourself. Google changes every day. The algorithm changes every day. You want to find a competent company who knows how to do these things that can make it happen. I would give you a piece of advice is speak to at least 3 companies. With any kind of marketing company you're trying to hire, speak with 3 companies. Come ready with your questions that you want. And the way that you're going to do that is, here's the bottom line. You need to be as good or better than your competition. So one day, sit down on your computer, open up an incognito Chrome window, which is easy. Go to the Chrome browser, open up an incognito window, and go ahead and do search results for the treatments that you want to provide. And do a search and see who the competition is. Because as a consumer, if I have to choose between A and B, I need to figure that out. So if your competition is A, and they have all the hooplas, and they have amazingness happening, and you are B, and you do not have the hooplas, and you do not have the wonderful thing, more than likely the consumer is going to pick A. So the bottom line is be as good or better than your competition. And this is good and bad. You may be in an area where you don't have heavy competition, and you can get away by a $2,000 website. Or you may be in an area where you have a lot of competition and they are spending money on marketing. Then unfortunately, you will have to spend money on marketing because, again, you have to be as good or better than the competition.
That's great advice. That's great advice. Talk to me about budget. How much should we be spending on marketing?
People always ask me this question, and so basically, I would say 2 to 5% of collections if you are established practice. So if you've been in practice for 5 to 6 years and you have that, you could do that. If you are a startup, if you are somebody who just acquired a practice, I would say anywhere between 7 to 9%. And again, remember, you are not really collecting very much right now because you are just opening up and you just acquired a practice. But that means you need to have a very good budget to spend on marketing to get those patients coming in the door. Startups is very different than acquisition because startups have no patience. Acquisition has patience. So depending on where you are. But remember, we also live in a world where you could control your marketing budget. You could control it in a way where for social media ads, you could run social media ads for $500 a month if you wanted to. And they will reach amazing audiences. You could target them accordingly. You could use AI now. We are in the world of AI. You could go onto AI and actually use AI to create all your marketing materials, all your articles, all your print ideas, all your brochures, all your content, or your email copy. And that's $20 a month, for a paid AI platform. So there are ways for you to control budget. I'll give you a strategy that is amazing. And I got this idea because it's very common in the real estate world. Some of you may have come across it, where you go to a coffee shop, you buy a coffee, and instead of you paying, they said, oh, your coffee's paid, and then they give you the card of the real estate agent. This used to be true back when real estate agents needed clients. Now they don't. They did back then. But let's convert that to our dental. So let's talk about the strategy. And anyone can do this. If you're a startup, a new practice, acquisition, established practice. I want you to think about a locally owned, it has to be locally owned, thriving restaurant, coffee bar, ice cream place next to your practice. Maybe there's a Mexican restaurant, maybe there's an Italian place, maybe there's a pizza place. Locally owned that is popular that your potential patients go to. Let's just say that you have a pizza place next to your practice around, in a 2-mile radius. You have a pizza place and everybody loves the pizza place. It's very popular. These are your potential patients you want to bring in. You go in, locally owned, so it's a local owner. It's somebody who wants to work with you, needs your money, and they also appreciate you. You go in and say, hey, let's say this guy's name is Sam. Be like, Sam, we love your pizzeria. It's awesome. My team loves it. I love it. And we want to do something nice for the community. So what I would love to do is anybody who picks a pizza on Friday night, I would like to give them a box of breadsticks on me. So Sam will be like, oh, well, that's so kind of you. So Sam, how much are the breadsticks? Da-da-da-da. I want to spend $250. How many breadsticks can I get in there? You can get quite a bit of breadsticks for $250, right?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, awesome. Sam, that's great. Can I get the boxes for the breadsticks? Of course you can. All right. You take the boxes back to the office. You go on Vistaprint. You spend $20. You get a nice card made that says something like, we hope this made you smile. We just wanted to say thank you to the community for allowing us to be here. We absolutely appreciate you. Your local dentist. Sign your name, PS, help us share the love on social media, pay it forward by taking a photo and tagging us on social media. For every photo that we get, we'll also donate to the local food pantry or the church or whatever it is, right? So now I'm the consumer, it's Friday night, I pick up my pizza and there's a box of breadsticks. And there's this message from a dentist. Well, that's weird, but that's exciting. Somebody just bought me breadsticks, so what am I gonna do? I may not take a photo and post it, but I'm going to look you up. And now because I'm going to look you up, hey, now I know who you are and who buys me breadstick. So now I'm looking at the dentist. So you're making people look at you, but you're supporting a local business. And I had practices double dip at this where they have done this with local businesses. And the local guys, like one of them was a smoothie place, and he did this at a smoothie place. And the smoothie guy was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, by the way, when I do this, do you want to have a table here? Now, of course, if you just bought me a free smoothie and if I'm not a jerk, I'm going to come up to you and say, thank you so much for the smoothie, and now you're talking about your membership plans. So there are ways to double dip, triple dip. You can create a social media stories takeover, but think strategy. How can you spend less but make maximum impact?
Wow, that's really innovative. I like that. I like that. And so I know you have a program called The Marketologist, and I'm sure these are some of the things they talk about. So tell me a little bit more about that program.
Yeah, so Marketologist is an online training marketing strategy program. So that's where I talk about all of this, but very, broken down: internal marketing, external community marketing, social media, hands-on training. We meet every month on Zoom with all the practices, so it's like a mini mastermind. Get together, go over everything. I get other experts, to come in and share about scheduling and insurance and practice management. It's an awesome course. I'm very excited about it because I get to work with amazing humans and amazing practitioners who also get to take a look at this and be like, oh, I can save money. I don't have to spend so much money on marketing. I can do this strategy, which is so cheap, but it's so amazing. And that's what I love to do.
So does it run continuously, or is it? Are there like you start, it ends, or just it's nonstop throughout the year?
It's nonstop. You have complete full access to it. So as soon as you go to marketologist.com and you enroll in the program, you get access to over 60 hours of strategy right away. And then on top of that, you get one-on-one sessions with me. And then on top of that, you get monthly masterminds with other doctors.
Wow.
And then on top of that, after 1 year, it's like $250 for annual membership. So everybody keeps it because why would you not?
Yeah, and you mentioned great speakers, and I know another thing you have coming up is your program called CE on the Beach, June 26th through 28th in the Cayman Islands, and you've got some amazing speakers. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so CE on the Beach is a labor of love. I grew up in the islands, and when I was in St. Thomas visiting my family, I posted a photo of Megan's Bay, which is one of the best beaches in the world, and I got all these people DMing me on Facebook saying, how do I go to an island, and how do I write this off? So me being a millennial, I posted it on my Facebook page, and I said, okay, if I were to do something on the island, how many of you will legitimately show up? And over 200 people said, we'll be there. So CE on the Beach was born. This is the 4th year. It's on a different island every single year. So this year is Cayman Islands. It's multi-day. There's a full day for KOLs, 2 days for dentists and teams, 2 half days. It's beautiful because it's designed as a workation. So over 90% of the attendees bring their families. It's very family-friendly. Bring your kids, bring your parents, make it into a vacation. Use the group room rate, which is incredible, for over a week. And yeah, you actually get CEs. We have awesome CE speakers: Dr. David Rice, Kevin Henry, Tom Viola, Lana Rivera, Michelle Strange, myself. So if we have everything: clinical, marketing, practice management, insurance, billing, it's all there. And why not make it into a fun event?
Yeah, a lot of great speakers, a lot of great experts. We've had many of those folks on the podcast, and that's really good stuff. So that's June 26th through 28th?
Yes.
Or is it 25th through 28th?
It's 26th to 28th. On 25th, we are actually having a special meeting for dentists and spouses. So if you are a dentist and you work with your spouse, there is actually a program for you. So this is CE on the Beach is turning into a multi-day event where you can pick and choose where you want to go. You could go KOL day, you could go to the dentist and spouse day, you could go to the dental days. And I do this because it's designed as a workation. Most people stay for over a week when they arrive there. So you can take 8 CEs or you can take 15 CEs. It's up to you.
Yeah, Cayman Islands it's one of my favorite islands. Really love that. So how can we find out about that? If we wanted to sign up or get more information, how do we find out about that?
Just go to ceonthebeach.com. All the information is there. I know we are recording this currently at Chicago Midwinter. The only thing I would say is there is a very good chance it's going to sell out by March because over 150 people have already registered to come to CE on the Beach, and this is a family-friendly event. So there will be a time where it's sold out. So if you're listening to this, if you want to come to CE on the Beach, I would say sign up by March end because that will be a good place.
And I can't underscore how important that is because I followed this over the last couple of years, and it does sell out quickly.
It's sold out every single year,
Yeah.
months in advance. Last year was completely sold out months in advance. This year it looks like it's going to be sold out pretty quickly. And I am just thrilled and honored that I can even do this. So.
Good for you. That's great stuff. Last year you were in Aruba, I think.
Yes, last year was Aruba. The year before was Turks and Caicos. The year before was St. Thomas.
So what's coming up on the horizon? Is it a secret? Or
it's a big secret.
Okay.
Only the people at CE on the Beach will find out about
Okay.
2026.
The big reveal is coming up. That's good stuff. I want to back up. There's one thing we didn't talk about, and that is how important it is to track your marketing.
I mean, how important it is to take x-rays. That's how important it is. If we don't see it, if we don't know it, we don't know it. So it is absolutely important to track it. I know it's super hard to track it because I know that we are working with humans who make mistakes, and they may have seen you on a billboard, but they tell you that they found you online or something or the other. So what I recommend is on your new patient forms, I don't want you to have one line that says, who do we thank to refer you, or how did you hear about us? That's what you usually have. I actually want you to have a new patient form, and on that new patient form, list every single marketing you're doing, and then have, please select all that apply. So list website, Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, TV ad, billboard, magazine, whatever you're doing. List it all, and then have people actually click multiple different things, because that is going to give you what is called the patient journey, the patient buying journey, right? So now you're going to see that, oh, I see that a lot of the patients are actually selecting the same three things, or these three things are the ones which are on the priority list. So now you actually have an idea of how your patients are finding you and making a decision to come to you. And now you know where to spend your money, you know which marketing is not working so well, and which one is really doing good for you.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was, I've always felt that, some of us do a really great job of marketing outside. But that shouldn't stop at the front door, right? That marketing has to come inside the practice, and you've got to continue that, right?
To be honest, I think that internal marketing and customer service should be the foundation to everything. Even if your marketing is incredible outside, but you're not doing a good job inside, then you have a bucket with holes, right?
Yeah.
None of the patients are going to come back to you. Then you're just going to be spending double the money, triple the money to get continuously new patients. We don't want that. We actually want your internal numbers to be so strong, so amazing, that every single person who walks out does want to write you a review and send you new patients. So internal marketing should be the top priority at all cost.
Yeah, and I'm assuming when you start to work with a new client, or maybe even in your
Program, yeah.
program that you run, do you evaluate the practice for the attendees?
I actually teach them how to do it.
Oh, themselves?
Yeah, I actually teach them. I actually have sheets. I actually walk them through it. I show them how to look at trends every month. I show them how you're actually doing with this. And then we do one-on-one session just on that.
Oh, that's fantastic. So really, it's better to train the person rather than be told what to do.
Well,
Everyone wants to be engaged and involved.
I think that as dental practitioners and dentists are brilliant. You went to school. You worked on patients. You do this every single day, and now you're running a business. And I fully believe that if you are shown what to do or how to do it, or if you're shown the logic behind it, the strategy behind it, you may be even smarter than me. And you may take a look at it and be like, that makes sense. This is how we should do it, or this makes sense for my practice. So I truly believe in giving the power to the people and showing them what to do and how to do it, because, give a fish or teach a man how to fish. And how to fish, I always think, is the most powerful way to be better.
Yeah, and as part of that, speaking to the fact that you've got to look at what your practice is doing internally. In other words, you don't want to be bringing people in the front door and sending them out the back door.
100%.
You want to make sure that you have in-house, in line before you start doing your marketing.
100%. And sometimes that's hard to do, because if you're a new practice, you clearly don't have your in-house done yet, and you don't have the right team, or you don't have the right outline of what needs to happen, or if you don't have, there's a lot of things. But at the end of the day, how does the patient feel by coming into your practice? And is that feeling better or worse when they leave that practice? And if you can focus on that one fact, and we know that they left with a happy smile and they said, I feel better than how I came in. I hate the dentist, but I'm leaving the practice feeling okay, I'll come back again, If you just focus on that one small thing, and sometimes it's as small as offering water, or simply asking, how can I make this better for you? Or what are you expecting today? Or what is the one thing you want from our appointment today? It's a simple conversation. We're all humans. We all know that one simple act of kindness goes a long way. So sometimes the system is as simple as, what does my patient need from me today? Can I give it to them?
Yeah. And I just want to go back again to one other thing you talked about, was the marketing budget, 2 to 5%. Because I know there's a lot of people that are resistant to that. They're like, that's a lot of money. I don't want to spend that. But let's just talk one more time about how important it is to make that spend, make that investment in your practice, so that you can keep the business going.
I think none of us worry, none of us want to do it until the day comes and we have no patients coming in, or our numbers drop. And again, like I said, I truly believe all dentists are incredibly brilliant humans. And I know that as a brilliant practitioner, you already know that if you wait till the numbers drop, then you have waited too long. So let's just not do that. Let's be those people who are thinking proactively And we already know that one day the numbers will drop. So let's just prepare for that. And let's just make sure that we always have it. It's like, you know the power is going to go out one day, so you always have a couple of cans of water in your basement. You save it. You know that one day the gas is not going to be there. You always have a canister in your garage that you can go and fill gas in. Let's just that's marketing. Marketing is let's not wait till our numbers drop and then focus on it, because then you are in a hard place for a few months.
That's right. Then you're in trouble. Then you're in trouble. Listen, it was really great to have you on the program. So much great stuff. So you got to do a couple things. You have to share your contact for us in case people want to do a couple things, get in contact with you, talk a little bit more about this, book you to speak, because I know you're a great speaker. Some great courses out there. So how can we get a hold of you? And then talk to us one more time and give us the contact information for Marketologist and CE on the Beach.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. My website is minalsampat.com. That is MINALSAMPAT.com. That's my main website. You guys can find everything there. CE on the Beach is ceonthebeach.com. Again, great, all the information you want in there. Marketologist is marketologist.com. And again, you will find all the information in there as well. Feel free to shoot me an email. Info@minalsampat.com is how you can reach me. And you know what? Really, to be honest with you, shoot me a DM. Go onto Instagram, Minal Sampat LLC, go onto Facebook, Minal Sampat. I work on my DMs. My life is spent on DMs, social media. I won't give you my phone number because I won't pick up my phone. I'm a true millennial. Shoot me a DM and I'll reply back.
Yeah, and you've got some great content that you post as well.
If you go to my Instagram, Minal Sampat LLC, I continuously, every single week, there is strategies that go out for free. It's for free for all of you guys to use, to share ideas, tips, all the latest things happening in technology, social media, and everything else.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank our producer, Kristen Gover. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe to our channel. You can always find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course the HGD app. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can reach us at news@agd.org. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.